See if we can get some good stuff in here for Andy. So Andy, I'm using very basic perks here. Sorry, that's not the bike. I'm using very basic perks here that you should have like right off the bat of the game. So if you want to try Hillbilly again, you can probably use him. So, at the beginning, I seen that 2 of them had flashlights, so I took Lightborn, which is specific to Hillbilly. And Lightborn makes it so that they can't blind you. So, they're gonna try and flashlight save people, they're gonna run in front of me with the flashlight in my face, try and blind me to make me drop somebody, but it's not gonna work. Also, I have, a crow perk. Spies in the Shadows or whatever it's called, and it when we walk by a crow, this is a really bad map for this guy, but yeah. So that perk just tipped that crow off to me. So what I did there is I purposely went up the stairs because I heard her in my ear. So I purposefully went up the stairs so that she would stay there. Alright, so right here, we're going to do a chainsaw scare to the left. So we're going to activate it here so she thinks we're going to dash through between. She'll turn left and put herself in a bunch of obstacles. Easy hit. And again, this is going to be very basic perks. Right here, I kicked this gen, which I don't normally do, to see if there's someone else here, and there was. It was a gamble, but it paid off. I just wanted to look like I was too busy to notice her going by, give her a chance to escape past me so I knew she was there. And we are getting pallets from this woman all game. She is dropping pallet after pallet after pallet. And we love that. It's fantastic. She's just gonna keep doing it over and over and over again. So I'm gonna keep giving her the opportunity to hit me, whatever, so I can get them out of the way. Is I'm keeping them so pressured that they can't finish gens. They're constantly just running from me right now. And this girl's giving me every pallet. So the next time that I end up chasing her, or anyone for that matter, they're not going to be able to throw all these pallets in my face. See? I want this. This is what you want to do. So right here, earlier I chainsawed a little bit. To get them scared like that, so that they keep freaking out. And right here, boom. She went to the left because she thought I was gonna go to the left, and then I didn't. Just stay on them as much as you can. Right here we get a hit on that guy, but we're not going to focus on him because I know that this girl over here is going to give me a pallet, so I'm going to go for the pallet. I want this pallet. I got a free hit on him, that's great. Right now she's looking for a pallet, but she can't find a pallet because there's no pallets because she used all of them. But there is one right over here that she didn't get. I'm going to use it to get her. Right now. She's got nowhere to go. In a corner. And now I pressured her into a small area where I can make them kill each other trying to save each other as well. I also just walked through a pallet, and this pallet is too close to the door where I can just dash through and get an insta hit. He was going to try and hit me with that pallet, so I lunged at him to stop him from being able to get it off on me. Now I have this entire area pressured. This is my area. And sometimes you can lock yourself down as a killer like this. He gets off the hook. I know they're going to go and try and save this girl. So I'm going to keep pressure over here. Because they're going to try and save her. And I'm going to get kills out of it. If you watch carefully here, I'll kick this, and I'll look to my left, and I'll see legs. I see those legs, I run that way. She's put herself in a corner, in front of a pallet. Free pallet, take it every time. This guy was being toxic, coming and crouching in my face. I'm not in the mood for that. The other two have been pretty chill. Alright, we're gonna watch around right here for a second. And I hear something on the right. Go check it out. They're trying to heal. I got it down. Now, I know this map a little bit. I'm gonna go put her in a secluded area so that since they're the only two left now, because the build just died, I pretend like I don't have Lightborn right there. But I'm gonna go put her in here because there's only one way out of this room. and I control it if she tries to get this person off the hook. So I pretend like I don't have light boring, so she'll still try and use her flashlight on me. Quick, break this pallet. I don't want to waste time breaking that pallet because she can get her off the hook. So if I use the chainsaw, it's much faster. She finds out I have light boring right there. I biff that on purpose so that she'll go get this pole and I get a hit. Now all I have to do is down one of them, and then since they seem to be in a party, focus one of them at a time. See, now watch here. You'll see her legs move at the last second right there. And I know she's moving towards that pallet. So she's putting herself in a safe spot for her teammate to come get her. And if she can't get her, she can jump over the pallet. So I know they're in a party, they're working together, they're trying to help each other. So I'm going to follow her up here. And I'm going to follow her to get pressure on her. She's going to go up here, and you'll see her drop. I know she's going to go help her friend, so I'll turn. And I'll try and get down there as fast as I can to cut her off, so that she can't heal. Boom. She could have picked her up right there because she's full barb, but I followed her. I didn't give her the option to. So now I'll chase her up again, because she does the same thing, trying to juke me out and then get back down to the basement. I make sure she's still chilling in that spot. Cool. I seen her start to crawl, so I know she's gonna move. So I have like a faint idea of where she's gonna go, so I'm just gonna assume that I'm right, and I'm gonna go pressure this girl one more time. And I hear her self-healing, so I let her give me this pallet. I forget about the pallet, drop down right behind her, and then catch her before she can get this heal off. That's a quad. That's really all there is to it right there. Keeping pressure. Figure out what these people like to do. If you think they might be in a party, assume they're working together. Assume they're going to try to help each other. Some people do that. Some people want to get these points, you know? Just try and figure out how they're going to play the match based on how they play the beginning of the match every time. And now we'll go find her on the ground, and we'll take the 4K. Simple perks, but keeping the pressure at a maximum as much as you can. Scare them. Yeah, just kind of keep pressure on them. It's not too difficult. Just some ways you can dash through that map. Plus, when you chainsaw sprint, you get some points for it, so. But yeah, you know, keep pressure on them. Get many hooks. Hooks are important. And, boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Mr. Worldwide is a step in the room. And as you can see, one of them had decisive strike and so on and so forth. Just 2 11s, a 14, and a 17. Like, just, it's not too bad. Usually I'm like a rank 10, rank 9, rank 8 killer. But, you know, there's just one little tidbit of, just so you can see kind of what I do. And I don't even use, add-ons for the chainsaw, because I don't know if you noticed, but most of the time I didn't use the chainsaw. Most of the time I use the chainsaw for the scare effect, because it's really hard to hit the chainsaw sometimes. So instead of trying to hit the chainsaw and missing, like you see me do a couple times, sometimes it's better just to M1. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta hit them. But yeah. And I'll pull up the build for you here real quick too, so you can see it. It's a really simple build. We have Lightborn, which makes it immune to being blinded, and it'll show where they're at for 8 seconds if they like go behind walls and so on and so forth. Hex, no one escapes death. This is like a last resort thing, you know. If they get all the gens open and they don't find your totem and they don't break your Hex totem, you can use this to one-shot them from full HP, to insta-down them. Spies from the shadows. 100% of the time, cawing crows give you a visual cue when you're within 28-meter range. So like, if they run by crows, it'll pop the crow, and you'll get a sound alert from it. Tinkerer, here's a big one. When a generator is repaired to 70% repair progress, it triggers a loud noise notification, and you are granted the undetectable status for 14 seconds. So they can't hear my heartbeat when I get a gen 70% done. But I know where they are as well. So I'll see where they're at, and then I'm undetectable, so I can just sneak up on them. The only other thing that I suggest for low ranking stuff is Lightborn. Usually I'll use Enduring, which is a normal Hillbilly perk. So you already have this, and you already have this. So you can just use these as you need to. If they have a bunch of flashlights, never lock in that you're ready until you see what they're going to use. If they have flashlights, switch this on. If they don't have flashlights, keep this on, so that when if you get hit by a pallet stun, it takes like a whole second and a half off. And again, Hex now escapes death. You'll be able to find this in your perk tree if you level them up a little bit. Spies from the shadow, same thing. And Tinkerer, you already have Tinker as well. So, 2 of his main perks, Tinkerer and Enduring, you're going to use all the time, and then you just swap Enduring out with Lightborn if you need to get, you know, the flashlight stuff. And as you've seen, someone tried to flashlight stun me a bunch, but I had Lightborn, so it just didn't affect me, and it like really played with her mind, and I got to run her around a little bit, which is really cool. There's other perks. None are really that good. I mean, you have like Insidious, which if you stand still for a little bit, you can become undetectable until you move. Iron Grasp is something I don't suggest, but yeah, for Hillbilly, boom, 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 boom. And the reason I'm telling you to get No One Escapes Death, or No-Ed, is because No-Ed is like a last resort thing, and with Hillbilly it's really hard to use the chainsaw, so if you're not getting all those consistent downs and stuff, at the end of the game you can run around and hit people, and you can do something called slugging. Slugging is when you knock someone down and you leave them on the ground and you go get the other person, so that, you know, you don't let them look for hatch or do gens or whatever. So you can keep the pressure up. And then usually one thing that people will try to do is go back and pick that person up, and if you notice, when I downed the last person, she was trying to pick that girl up because she was 100% ready to get picked up. She charged her bar full. All that person had to do was run over and tap her, and she would have been out. And I knew that because when I went down the first time to chase her around, she went back to that person to try and tap her, but I was right behind her, so she couldn't, so she ran. So when I followed her up the next time, I just turned around and went back down after I spooked her, and went straight to where I knew that girl was on the ground, and then I caught her. Because I could have just started chasing her, but if I chased her, I would have been behind her. When I could get in front of her instead. If I get in front of her, I body block her for a split second on what she's trying to do. I got that auto off, and I hit her, and she went down. I got them both down. Yeah. I don't use any add-ons, really. There's not a lot of really great ones. I mean, this is, these are alright, but when you bump into stuff, it's not good. There's really just not a lot of stuff that's really good. Just normal boots like this, so you can kind of turn a little bit more. These are something as well. This one's not too bad. Heavy clutch. Like I'll usually like do heavy clutch and in dad's boots, so I can turn more, and then I have a less chance to hit stuff. Let me see. This is kind of useless because unless you're like fully charging up the chainsaw and using it a whole bunch, which I usually try to use it as a scare tactic, it's gonna it's just not gonna be very useful. Rate of cooling, not that big of a deal. Noise made by the chainsaw, you don't want that because you want it to be loud. You want people to hear you so that they get scared. This one makes you go faster, makes it charge faster. This one's okay, I don't mind that one if you're trying to like get good at getting on top of them and then using the chainsaw. These ones aren't too bad, it makes you not, you know, be all over the place and everything. This one, you can get this one if you're trying to like farm blood points. If you're really good and you get good, you can do it to where the chainsaw doesn't insta down, it just does one hit, and then it'll give you a bunch of blood points for it. But yeah, I mean, and then offerings, I mean, you can really do whatever you want with these, like pick some blood point boosting ones or something or whatever, but for the most part that's usually what I use on the Hillbilly. So like my base without using like OP perks to like still play well even against, as you saw, like medium tier players like 11s and so on and so forth. It'll work on like 8s and 7s as well if you practice enough and you get good with it. Hillbilly's just rough at finding people, so when you find people, you want to stay on them, keep them pressured, keep them off their gens the best you can. You have a lot of mobility with that chainsaw. Just remember that you can move all the way across the map usually with that chainsaw on a good map. So abuse that, you know, get around the map, check all the gens, pressure them off of gens. If you find somebody, stay on them. If you notice, I dashed towards somebody one time just to get close to them so that I wouldn't have to run as far, and I was closer during the chase.